So Biden has done several of these executive actions where he cancels a few student loans here and a few student loans there, and people kind of stop paying attention unless you're one of those people who gets their loans canceled. So what is actually going on here? So let's remember Biden did try to cancel up to $20,000 of student debt for 43 million borrowers, and the Supreme Court turned that around and said, no, you can't do that. So what has Biden done since then? He's found different ways to do it. So he hasn't done it for 43 million. He's done it for about 4 million. So it's only about 1/10 of everybody who he tried to help the first time around. But clearly, first of all, he did say he would do this when he was running for president in 2020, and young people are holding him to it. I mean, they want to see some action here, and young people don't necessarily follow every development. So there are a lot of young people who say Biden said he was going to cancel student debt, and he didn't do it. Mm-hmm. Well, he tried. So what Biden's trying to do here is get some cred with younger voters, and to underscore that, people who in this latest round are going to get some debt canceled, they're going to get an email or a letter directly from President Biden saying, hey, I'm the one who canceled your student debt, so vote for me.
All right, well, we'll see if that works. In the meantime, we're expecting another announcement from the White House on Friday as well. We are looking for new sanctions against Russia. These triggered by the death of Alexei Navalny, right. The critic of the Russian administration. Right.
So, this sounds like it's going to be underwhelming. We've had sanctions in place against Russia, economic sanctions. We are coming up to the 2-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine on February 24th, 2022. Huge set of sanctions went into effect during the next several months after that, focusing on energy, Russia's financial system. Guess what? Russia's still standing. I think Russia has surprised a lot of people with its ability to keep the economy going. The economy is actually growing this year. It's going to grow by something like 2.5–3%, according to the IMF. What's happening in Russia is the sanctions are hurting the Russian economy. They're having problems with inflation. They're having problems with the devalued ruble. But on the other hand, they are cranking up industrial production and turning into kind of a wartime economy. So there's a lot of stimulus coming in just from government, building the military base or rebuilding the military base. And Russia's still selling oil. They are still able to sell a lot of oil. They're selling it for less than they otherwise would because of this oil price cap. But they are bringing in a lot of revenue, and they can keep this war going. And by the way, Putin's goal, he is willing to fight this war until 2026. Analysts think, and he wants a victory by 2026. And of course, here in the United States, we've already lost patience. We can't find the funding because there's a squabble about something on Capitol Hill. So it's kind of a discouraging situation. If they do additional sanctions, one of the things they could do is they could lower that oil price cap further. So it's now $60. There are some people who say put it as low as $30. Maybe they'll lower it. The White House doesn't want to do that. They're afraid oil's going to come off the market and push prices up here. But who knows? Maybe they will tap it down to $55, maybe $50 or something.
Do you think, Rick,
like
the Senate did pass that foreign aid package. Do you think that aid ever actually gets to Ukraine?
This is the same thing we've been talking about in the House, where because Mike Johnson, the Speaker, will lose his job if he cooperates with Democrats. Mm-hmm. There are enough super conservative Republicans to basically boot him from his job. There is bipartisan support in the country for continued aid for Ukraine, and there's bipartisan support in Congress for that. It's just this sort of tyranny of the super minority in the House, where Mike Johnson just can't get anything done. And that's the same problem he faces with spending bills, and we're going to be talking in the next few days. It looks like a government shutdown possibly could happen once again. So this same dynamic, there are ways to get this done. It's just very tricky if this guy wants to keep his job.
Yeah, definitely. And they all like to keep their jobs, mostly.
They do.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it.